really talk about daily grind. We don't talk about daily, but it was my wedding day. We were getting married. Okay, there we go. Welcome to the Daily Grind. And we may not talk about Bruno on here, but we do talk. Oh, that's so cheesy. We do talk about basketball. I am your host, Luke Hatmaker, and I got Uncle Buck with me. How are you, brother? Happy Wednesday.
What's up? I mean, I tell you, I think I use my podcast time as my time, and I feel like my kids have invaded it while
I'm so
you
sorry.
singing Coco to me and during my grown up time.
I literally had the moment I was like, hey, this might
Encanto?
Encanto. So,
Yeah.
This could really ruin the vibe. I was like, hey, we all got kids, and
Go for it.
The lights were off, and I was like, there are no kids with him right now. I'm gonna ruin it.
Oh, everything's good here in North Mississippi. We in here.
Dude, I love that hat. Go Ole Miss.
Thank you. It's new.
It's new. We may talk about some Ole Miss stuff later, but first, I just want to get into this because I haven't got to talk to you in person. Derrick Rose was waived on Monday. What day is it? Monday afternoon. Yes. He was waived. News found it was announced yesterday that it sounds like he is foregoing the entire $3.6 million he was due on his contract. You brought up a very good point yesterday in our group chat. He could have given it to you or I.
I think it's extremely selfish. Like everybody's like, "Oh, how nice of him! He gave." The Grizzlies more cap room, as if the Grizzlies were running out of money or something. Let me tell you who's actually running out of money.
Yeah.
Take that $3.6 million and give it to Pores like me and Luke.
Pores.
Yeah. I mean, let's not pretend like this was a saintly deed here. He just told everybody in the world that $3.6 million means nothing to him.
Oh, when you put it like that, us Pores, man, I'm going to start with Pores is great. Us Pores could have really used that $3.6 million.
I'm not all about the whole redistribution of wealth, but however, if you're going to give some out, I'm going to be in line. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. As Grizzlies fans, we should be near the front.
Right.
Oh. It just makes sense.
It is.
Shout out Wayno, shout out DG and King Makes too. I see you guys in there. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us.
Sounds like he's going to retire, right?
It does sound like he's going to retire. Which I mean,
fitting for him to go out of Grizzly.
Yep. And his poor health, man. Like I was looking at his numbers just this morning. Although I want to put this up. I feel like it has to be health. I feel like the decision has to be health. I mean, I was looking at
it's one of those things. To me, it's like if you look at the timing when training camp started, he just had plenty of time. He rested. He probably tried to stay in shape, but then once the grind started, he knew he didn't have it. Like he wants to, but he just probably doesn't have it. That's what the timing said to me.
Agreed. And honestly, there is nothing. One of the saddest things I will ever remember seeing is Peyton Manning playing on one foot, not being able to get the ball down the field.
Yeah, going ducks.
Yeah, it's just like I hate when a player doesn't get to go out on his own terms.
Right.
Even if he doesn't get to go out on top, at least he is choosing, hey, I'm in charge of me,
Yeah, and I love to see guys go out on top like that. I especially love seeing guys go out on top, like winning a natty, or winning a championship. But and I'm old fashioned too. Like I like seeing guys play with one team.
Yes.
And so like Peyton Manning, you brought him up. It broke my heart to see him go play for Denver. I'm a Manning fan, despite the fact he exiled himself from the family and went up to Knoxville. But I'm a Manning fan, and so I wanted him to retire the Colts, but the Colts didn't. They didn't let him do that. And
do you think I'm intrigued to see. I'm assuming we'll get a press conference at some point. I'm very intrigued to see what that's like. I just want to hear from D Rose. I really, you know what? The man with young kiddos, it's daddy time.
Yeah.
He's 30. I mean, what is he our age? He's in his 30s.
Clearly 33, 34, I would
33,
think.
34. He's clearly lost a step. He's not as good as he wants to be. He's had a long, lustrous career. Like, this is the dude that was one of the greatest, had the potential to be one of the greatest of all time. I firmly believe that, had injuries not derailed his career.
He's 35.
35.
Yeah, and I don't think that the common man, and I mean, I know they get paid millions of dollars. There's no, I don't have a lot of sympathy, but like the fact is that when you play an 82 game season that spans 4 months out of the year, and then you've got playoffs after that a lot of times and training camp, and I mean, that's a lot of time away from family. And so his kids are still young. Like, absolutely. While you've still got life, if you've got enough life in those knees to crawl around with your kids, then you just need to go ahead and keep that.
Yeah. He doesn't want to be 40 and not being able to walk around and play with his kids. That's awful. That's awful.
Yeah. So hats off to him. I loved him coming here. I like the idea of him being here. Wayno in a group chat that we're in called him a babysitter.
Yeah.
But that's, to put it more respectfully, he was a mentor to Ja in a year in which is probably the most chaotic of his life. And we'll probably never know the inner details or what conversations were had there, but it was apparent that it was received by Ja. And if that's all we got out of Derrick Rose last year, then that's worth the money.
Yep. I agree. I completely agree. With him out of the building, though, there is a very, 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 very large vacant role for the backup point guard spot on this team, at least for now.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Who do you think is going to be the backup point guard?
Well, Derrick Rose was never going to be the backup point guard. I know he was always in the depth chart, but he was like third. I mean, if we're being real, I don't think he played 3 consecutive games last year, without being out. And so it's just where he was at physically, and no knock on him. But there is one player on the team that did do a lot of backup point guard last year. And I got a lot of flack for saying he needed the 15th roster spot. Well, I dare anybody to tell me that he doesn't deserve the 14th roster spot now. You can have the best of both worlds now. Everybody can have their coveted flexibility, and then I also get
Scottie Pippen Jr.
I mean, it's a no-brainer.
Oh, man, my favorite part of this was I'm just happy that that's the point that you made, because I was like, I can't argue with him getting that 14th roster spot. I ain't got anything to say.
No, and I don't know what else they do. I mean, the 5th, obviously they covet that flexibility, player to be named later, and if you put it in baseball terms. But now you've got 2 spots, and so if they really covet flexibility, you can still keep that 15th spot open and give Scottie Pippen Jr. the 14th spot. Now, you also have to think about Cam Spencer. He was the 2nd round pick. Guard depth at this point looks shallow, but there's a lot of rotational stuff you can do there without needing a 3rd point guard. You know what I'm saying? You've still got Smart. You've still got Bane. Jaren, I expect to probably run a little of the point, in like a Giannis kind of role when Ja's on the bench. You've got guys there that can handle the ball. This is a 5-out motion offense where, I mean, it's not like the old Spurs where, you're going to have a point guard that comes up and gets the play going. He calls the plays out and everything like that. Like, you don't see that as much today. And so there's plenty of guys here that can do that. Yeah. And so I think Scottie Pippen Jr. is probably your 3rd guard more than he is like your backup, quote unquote, backup role. It's, backup's probably going to be Marcus or Desmond, or
it's going to be an untraditional backup.
Right. And so if you need a guard that, if Jock goes down for a week with a torn ankle or something, like somebody that can step in a starting role or as a 6th man that you could just plug in, and Smart's shown us that he can hoop.
Yeah. I think this is where the Grizz have to have 14 contract players.
Okay.
So somebody's going to get signed. Someone has to. Can I read you some stats really quick? We're going to have a stat time. So Derrick Rose, He in 814 possessions last season with the Grizzlies. Lineups with him, he was in the 33rd percentile. They were minus 4.5 with him at the point guard.
It's kind of unfair too, though. That team was awful.
That team was awful.
Ravaged.
Yes. Yeah. So this is This is all per cleaning the glass, by the way. Scottie Pippen Jr. with the same team, 1,013 possessions, so about 200 more possessions. The 23rd percentile. So, it's more possessions.
I didn't expect it to be worse.
It was worse, but he played more games with worse players. His situation was the team that Scottie Pippen Jr. was out there playing with was significant. I mean, D Rose got to play with Bane. He got to play with Smart. He got to play he got to play with some guys.
I was into the season before everybody went out.
Like some of these Scottie Pippen Jr. lineups I'm looking at, it's like with Timmy Allen, Jake LaRavia, and Trey Jemison. Dude was doing his best.
Yeah. Go out there and have fun.
I want to bring up a third option.
Okay.
If the Grizzlies if they choose to go outside of the building to sign a point guard, there's really only one person that I think they should sign, because there's only one point guard that is still available that has any sort of skill. I would say
Raymond Felton.
You got it.
Mario Chalmers.
Oh my God. It's just ridiculous. Markelle Fultz.
Is he not on a team?
No, the Orlando Magic.
I bet they salivate over Mark. I mean, that's a name that, like, analytics loved him. I bet our front office has always just been like, we can fix him.
I know. Well, and in the just a couple, maybe 20 more possessions than Scottie Pippen Jr. last year, he was in the 53rd.
Was he on the Magic last year?
He was on the Magic. He was and he was playing with reserves for the Magic.
Right. I mean, we've already got a point guard that can't shoot. Might as well duplicate it.
Damn.
Real quick, this is not on the rundown. I want to know if we can block people from the chat. Is that a function here on the StreamYard? Because on a day that should be celebrated by everybody, our friend Down Under has the most Down Under opinion of all time. It's just disgusting. Like,
I don't agree with you, Wayno.
I'm going to swim to Australia to whoop Wayno over this.
Yeah, it's bad take, Wayno.
Yeah, it is unpopular. That's an understatement of the year.
Yes, I'm glad you brought this up, though.
Yeah, Rusty and I bought tickets yesterday.
I'm buying tickets this weekend. I want to go to that game too.
And so we're going to be sitting up there with our heads against the rafters, but hopefully right where the jersey gets picked up at. So we've been to this will make all 3 jersey retirement ceremonies that we've been to. We don't miss them. And Tony Allen was my favorite. I loved him. And it was the reason why I love a lot of players that I love now. It started with Tony Allen. It's just the heart and soul guys.
Yep.
And so, if you want to look at stats, whatever, but the jersey retirements are not about historically great NBA players. Go look at other places and the numbers they've got retired.
Yep.
I mean, Tony Allen meant more to the Memphis Grizzlies than,
the majority
pick a player.
Yes.
99% of players have ever meant to a city.
Yes.
And that's why it's a Memphis thing for a Memphis dude. It has nothing to do with statistics.
This decision was made with absolutely no regard for anyone outside of the organization. And that is totally okay. And
if you don't like it, there's a Lakers team out west that you can go root for.
Shots fired at Wayno, man. We're gonna have. I'm gonna have a full Tony Allen episode maybe later this week, because that's a guy with all this discourse has been coming out. I'm the same way with you. It's a guy that I feel like I want to celebrate a little bit for what he did here. Man, I'm intrigued to see what this team does, because when does training camp start? Next week? 2 weeks?
Yeah, it's really soon.
A decision has to be made soon. And whether that be they promote someone within the organization, or if they go and sign someone, whether that's Scottie Pippen Jr. getting the nod, Cam Spencer getting the nod, or they go and get Markelle Fultz, there's options. But I think you kind of hit the nail on the head. idea that there's still flexibility on this roster, both with who they want to sign, if they want to sign another player, and with who they want to play backup point guard minutes. I just think I'm not super worried.
But the fact, it just kind of makes my point a little bit the first time around with what to do with the 15th roster spot when they cut that dude from Virginia, what's his name? Is that if Markelle Fultz is the only player out there that you could pick up, just sign Scottie Pippen Jr.
Yeah.
So,
and there's all, you go look at the list of people that are available. It's not that great, and there's a reason they're probably still unsigned.
Right. And if there's one player cut, it's not going to be Scottie Pippen Jr. It'll be Conchar. I don't know. He wouldn't be the first player cut if you had a roster crunch.
No, not at all. I don't think for anybody. I don't think anybody, if you were to poll 100 Grizzlies fans, they would not say they would cut him first. I think that's pretty solid. I don't know. I think that's pretty concrete. Enough about this, though. We're talking about a backup. Santi, get out of here, Wayno. I want to talk to you about something that we spoke on briefly Monday. Yes. We talked about whether or not Memphis would leave the ACC and join the Pac-12. We thought it was a good idea. They said no. They said, oh, really quick, I need to throw this up there. This is rude and crude. Yeah,
I hope Rusty is wait. He just texted me and said, dang, I just woke up.
No, he good.
So I hope that he's in this chat now because that's probably hateful to Markelle Fultz. If I'm being honest.
That's rude. You need to apologize to Markelle. But they said no. Memphis said no. The Tigers said no. What is that?
Back at this, I have a feeling you're going to look back at this in 5 years and just be miserable. This was a lifeline. It was a priority for the Pac-12 to get Memphis. They wanted Memphis, but they also wanted Tulane and South Florida, and they wanted them to come together. But Memphis was number one in that. They wanted Memphis first, and Memphis has never been valued in conference realignment before. Memphis fans have always dreamt of getting into the SEC or to the Big 12 or to the ACC, and they've never made the cut. You look back, and they went with the ACC went with UCF and Houston and SMU before they went Memphis.
Yeah.
And the Pac-12 offered them a deal. And it wasn't the greatest deal in the world, but offered them a deal to play in a power conference. Now, they're not, the Pac-12 will not be a Power 4 conference anymore. They will not be a Power 5 conference anymore. But if you look at what the American is versus what the new Pac-12 is going to be, I mean, that's just disgusting. I don't understand how in the world you can just choose to live in squalor. Enjoy your home games against Rice and against East Carolina and against Tulsa. Have fun playing the Naval Academy every year. I'm not saying it's great, but it is pitiful compared to what the Pac-12 is looking to put together in all sports. I mean, they added Gonzaga to play it as a basketball-only school. You telling me a Memphis-Gonzaga conference game of basketball, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, you just I'm going to put this up here. It's not what it used to be.
No,
but still, it's my point is, if you're a Memphis Tigers fan, and correct me if I'm wrong, you are going to stand a much better chance at making any form of the playoffs if you're in the Pac-12 than if you're in the AAC. I don't know.
And I listen to a lot of Memphis podcasts, and mainly for the Grizzlies, but it's not Grizzlies time yet. So I've gotten a pretty heavy dose of other people's thoughts on this, and I'm convinced this is just the worst decision you could have made. In the comments, David over here says the money didn't add up. Well, make it add up. I don't care. It's not about. I mean, it is about money, I guess, but you can't tell me that over the next 20 years, you're not going to make more money in the Pac-12 than you would be this awful conference that you're in now. Like, just find it. I don't know. Every other school finds a way to buy out their contract with their conference. Like, you be that. Like, figure it out. I don't know what it is, but I can tell you right now, season ticket sales are going to suck. They sucked this year, and they're going to suck going forward because the home schedule for football, which is everybody's darling in the South.
Yeah.
Memphis is a basketball school, but football's got to make money to survive. And your home games include what? I mean, you play USF on the road. You play Tulane on the road. So you've got Rice and East Carolina. I'm not looking at the schedule. There's no good home games at all.
No.
Like, why would anybody get out of their chair to go to Orange Mound to go to the Liberty Bowl to watch Memphis play East Carolina? Like, no, I'll just stay at home and watch good football.
Yeah, man. And it's like you said, that we've seen so many schools just pull these exorbitant amounts of money out of thin air, like millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. Like, yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
No, you're good. You're good.
If we can make deals with the IRS, then they can make a deal like that. Like, it's just, we've seen these schools get tens of millions of dollars, and they're like, oh yeah, here we go, booster money, whatever. Like,
and I can't remember the exact numbers, but when the ACC added SMU and added UCF and all these teams, SMU took a terrible deal.
Yeah.
Like, they're getting like no money for 5 years or something like that. Whatever the conference pad is, they're getting a fraction of it for 5 years. And they signed that deal. And they signed that deal to get out of the American. Yes. Like, why would Memphis not do the same thing? Like, just do what you've got to do. I think I saw this at 7 of the 10 original American Conference schools that started the conference left.
Oh, wow.
Like, and you're over here just like, no, we're going to hold strong. Like, buddy, the house is burning. Get out.
There's no reason to go down with the ship.
And Daniel's right. Like, Memphis will never make the playoffs now. Rusty and I got into a debate over this, like whether or not the AAC champion or the Pac-12 champion would get a seed in the playoff. There is no chance in the world that an AAC champion would get the nod over a Pac-12 champion. The conference sucks.
Yeah,
and the Pac-12's not any better, but I mean, at least you can say like, oh, in this year we beat Boise State. Well, Boise State's a good school.
Yeah, Boise State top 25
San Diego State. You know, San Diego State, to take it to basketball, Gonzaga's won a championship. San Diego State made a championship game. Like, there's competition.
Yes.
It's not deep. You're going to have Washington State and Oregon State in there. And both of those schools are ranked in the top 35, I believe, in FPI. Like, no, I'm not going to pretend like it's the SEC or the Big 12 or the Big 10, but it's better than the American. It's stupid. I mean, it's mind-bogglingly stupid. You're going to look back and you're going to curse whoever made this decision.
I as someone who, you know, I'm a layman too. I'm trying to get engrossed in as much as I can because I love it. I loved it as a kid. I'm trying to get back into the college football landscape. It's like, I just don't, even from an investment, I just don't, I feel like this is, you're going to regret this.
This is one of the points I heard, and I'm not intimately familiar with it, but I listened to Gary Parrish, my good friend Gary Parrish. We met him a couple weeks ago. We talked about we're best friends.
Best friends.
And he went on a tirade about this yesterday. He's much more knowledgeable than me, so go listen to his show yesterday on Grind City Media. But the fact that they don't have an on-campus stadium has got to hurt. You know, he made the comment that people that live in Memphis who go to Tigers games have never been to the University of Memphis campus before. And that is just, that hurts you in every single aspect. You can dump all the money you want into the Liberty Bowl. You can demolish half the field and rebuild it. But it's not a college environment if it's not on a campus. On a campus.
Yep. It's a very, very, very good point. I hope we're wrong. I sincerely hope that we're wrong. We're not. We're not. Like, this is the college. I don't understand.
The only thing that can work out, I can see a scenario, because this whole ACC conference game between Cal and Wake Forest, like that makes no sense at all.
No.
Just like USC and Rutgers playing a Big Ten conference game. Like a lot of this doesn't matter, but for Cal and Stanford, I can see a scenario where they go back to the Pac-12. They got out because the house was burning.
Yep.
So if Stanford and Cal go back to the Pac-12, then maybe Memphis can luck into the ACC, which would be a better geographical fit.
No doubt.
But like, if that doesn't happen, I mean, you're an American conference school. I mean, you just are.
And it's not the least desirable. I mean, it's one of the least desirable conferences that you want to be in right now, right?
I mean, it's on par with MAC schools. And I mean, MAC's got more swag about it because they play on Thursday nights and everybody loves MACtion. Like they've got a brand and a thing that they do well. Like the American is like I'm sure they get the same amount of viewership on football games as the Ivy League. Like it's a garbage conference. Like they're the Sun Belt.
This is more people were at the Southern Heritage Classic game than any of the Memphis games. It's like
absolutely,
it's tough.
They've got the Southern Heritage Classic game at least have amazing halftime shows.
Man, it's just a bummer all around because if you're trying to tell me that these Tigers fans, like these Tigers fans, love, like they will go all out for this team. They love this team. I want the world to see that. I want the country to see that. But the school's not doing them any favors at all. At all.
I mean, it's just you're not making this. It's my biggest gripe. You know, when I didn't have a podcast or a show or anything when they took down they tore apart the Grizzlies under Fizdale and took away our core four.
Yeah.
But what they made these decisions and they didn't work out. And so you're just looking at yourself and it's like, we tore apart something that we adored for what? Like, are more fans coming? No. Are we more fun to watch? No. I mean, what did we do this for? And so if you're a Memphis Tigers fan, and I'm not, but I'm empathetic. I do root for them secondarily. But like, what was the reason you chose to be in a subpar conference when you had a chance? And shoot, if the ACC opens up, you can leave the Pac-12. I mean,
yeah, it's not written in blood.
Yeah. I mean, they were talking about a 5-year grant of rights agreement with the Pac-12. It's like in 5 years, this thing could look totally different. I'm going to tell you what I think. In 10 to 15 years, I don't think that you're playing the same sport in the same league. The NCAA, at some point, these big schools, these Power 5 schools, are going to quit even dealing with the NCAA. They're going to branch off, and it's going to be a football-only conference where it's going to be like an NFL model, and they're going to pay their players. They're going to have contracts, and it's not going to be able to abide within NCAA bylaws, so they're just going to get out of it. And when that happens, at that point, you're talking about playing in the CFL versus the NFL if you're Memphis.
And the CFL has, I don't want to say it's not a laughing stock, but
it's cute.
It's it's cute.
It's
cute that we let them play.
My man Swag Kelly has a couple Grey Cups. I love that. But like,
as a Chicago Bears fan who hired Mark Trestman just because he won a couple Grey Cups, I'm out. I'm out on the Montreal Alouettes, whatever the hell they're called. I'm out. Yeah. We got a lot of.
We're in the majority on this one. We are in the vast majority. See, and I don't think that administrations a lot of times get themselves in trouble by making hasty decisions based on public outrage. But at some point, you got to listen and just be like, this is what the fans want, and we got to make it work. And they just didn't. And I've never been more shocked than when the news came out that they were just like, nah, we're committed to the American. Like
so fast. Fast.
It's like, I was like, I'm working at McDonald's, and another job comes up offering me more money and better insurance. And you're just like, I'm committed to McDonald's. Like, why? Why are you committed to the American? Nobody else is.
It's like you working off an exit at a McDonald's that's open in a Buc-ee's, and you can go to the Buc-ee's, make $24 an hour, get health insurance and benefits and stuff. Like, what do you do?
Right. I mean, do what's better for you. I mean,
yes.
And
real quick before we go to break,
but
that does suck, but it's you can get out of it.
Yeah.
CFL or USXFL, which is better? USXFL because they got the showboats, baby. Memphis Showboats. I got a jersey.
I mean, I'm guessing you put US or Canada. Like I know. I'm a patriot.
That you are. We're gonna take a quick break. When we get back, we're gonna draft some stuff. We're gonna stick in the college realm. We're gonna draft some Heisman hopefuls for draft day, not the movie. Draft day, not the movie. Right after this break.
I think Jabari Smith Jr. and I don't want this to be true, but I almost feel maybe Tobias Harris, y'all.
What's wrong with Tobias Harris? We've had this discussion. All the guy does is give you a double-double, 20 and 10.
Bro.
That's it. That's it. Every night.
Who?
Tobias Harris.
Stop that. Tobias Harris gives you a double-double 8 times a year. Stop that.
What?
He gives you this
times a year.
I'm a fan. And this is what I'm saying because I continue to be like, he's a dude he's a tease. It's a tease. It's like, God, dog, he's sexy. But it just won't work. Like he should be, but it's there, but it's just when the games, it's just consistently. I don't know if it's you need more people to believe in it, something, but I don't want, and also just to get lost in the rest in that Houston team.
Tune in to the Night Court podcast with your hosts, Rob Fisher and Brevin Knight, on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
I've always thought Norvell wasn't really that tight to me because I was like, bro, this dude ain't it to me, bro. He left with the humility, and that's the only reason why people ain't destroying his ass right now.
That 2019 year is what supplanted his legacy as like, you know, he's the man. Oh, yeah, but let's not forget, he was one missed 20-yard field goal against Tulsa away from all of that being nothing. That one field goal changed everything. That missed field goal sent them to the AAC championship, brought game day to their place. I mean, that field goal changed a lot of people's careers. Ryan Silverfield wouldn't be here. Norvell wouldn't be in Florida State. It just changed everything. So
yep, that's facts. That's facts. Get him out of here. It'll put Memphis in the pole position to go and do what they gotta do to get to the college football playoff. If you win out, you got a chance to win out if you win this game against Florida State.
How crazy is that going to be?
It's going to be crazy.
Tune in to the Anthony Sane Show Wednesdays and Fridays at 12 p.m. weekly on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Welcome back to the Daily Grind. I'm really going to need them to change that commercial because man, having to come back and be like, you know, it'd be really cool if they'd run the table, but Navy's right there. You can check all of these shows out at bluffcitymedia.co. We got Night Court. No Bluffing was this week. Anthony Sane will be today. $2 will be this week. We got a whole lot. Grizz 901's coming back. I forgot it again. The one you mentioned on Monday, the 5, the one about the 5, G-Force 5. G-Force is the movie about the hamster with, oh my God.
Group of G5. I don't know why I can't remember that.
It's not G-Force, the movie with the hamsters. Don't do that.
G5 Classified.
G5 Classified. That makes more sense. All that's at bluffcitymedia.co. Jess Benson's happening right now at Grind City Media. Go check them out. We got a lot of stuff. But back to our show. Wednesdays around here, we like to draft things. I don't know if you've seen the movie Draft Day. It's awful.
Realistic.
It's
so realistic.
So
the
realistic.
Browns figured it out when everybody else didn't. Have you ever heard that before?
It's just you just pick any other team, and I get it. But anyway, I digress. Draft Day, not the movie. We draft stuff around here. We are going to stick in the realm of football, particularly college football. We are going to draft Heisman hopeful players because, you know, we're getting more this is week 5.
We're going into week 5.
Week 5, you know, like this is, people are starting to separate themselves. You know, we're at the point now too where people can go up or down in their standings, I would say, even if they don't play. It's really interesting. We're going to draft 3. We're not going to do 2 at the turn since there's just 2 of us. So we'll just go bop, 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 bop,
Okay.
bop. Heads or tails?
Tails.
I don't know if I should even flip. We know how this always goes. Yep, we're good. We're good. It's fine. I don't know why.
Man.
I should just quit. Okay, you go first.
All right. Well, so I've started this off by looking at the Heisman odds, the current Heisman odds.
Okay.
And the guy I'm going to pick has risen all the way to second.
I know I wanted to take this guy in front of you.
You should have.
I wanted to do it so bad.
If only the coin ever went in your favor.
It never does.
I'm going to take Jackson Dart. I mean, it's a homer pick. I get it. Hate me. I don't care. You can call me a hater. I mean, a homer. But I'm not really a homer when he's got the second best odds.
No, you're not.
Vegas. I mean, and his stat line, he is completing 80% of his passes, 12 touchdowns, 2 picks. He's got 100 yards rushing with 3 rushing touchdowns. He's just filling it up. Before you say it, I know we've played a community college schedule. Okay,
You're making all my points for me. I was gonna do
now, it's easy pickings. You can there's real obvious holes that you could punch in this. However, my only rule when you play crap schools is you better beat them by 1,000, and they have.
Yep.
And he has looked like the best player on the field, and it's not even close. And everything is in front of you if you're Jackson Dart. Nobody ever wins the Heisman in September or October or the first part of October. Coming down the stretch, Ole Miss goes has home to Kentucky, at South Carolina, then they go to Baton Rouge. If you go to Baton Rouge and Death Valley, where Ole Miss is probably going to be favored now, and you put on a show, I mean, that's when it really starts picking up.
That's the
After
game.
that, you've still got a home game against Georgia. You've got a home game against Oklahoma, and everything's in front of you. He's got the weapons. He's got the moxie. He's got everything you want in a Heisman. He's a third-year starter at the same college. You don't see that ever. So I just think the recipe is there. Yes, he's my guy. I love him. More than him, I love the uniform that he wears. Okay?
Yes.
I'm laying it out there. But you can't tell me that he's not he's absolutely in the mix for the Heisman.
No, and to be perfectly honest with you, if I had gotten the first pick in whatever alternate reality that I do get the first pick, I know it's out there somewhere. Luke, and there's another universe where Luke gets first every time. I fully prepared to come in here and take him first overall.
Yeah.
In part to see your face when I took him in front of you, but I like the guy a lot.
Seth Finnegan just lost the Navy.
Anyway, my turn. So since you took Jackson Dart, I'm going to take Cam Ward. I think would you say it's 2-horse race between these guys right now?
So right now the odds are overwhelming for Cam Ward at plus 350, Jackson Dart's plus 500.
Yeah.
After that, it's 750 plus 1,000.
Yeah, it gets up.
So it does, but like I said, and the thing that with Cam Ward has been absolutely superb. I mean,
yes.
I'll look up the stats, but he's been incredible.
He's got 72.4% passing, 14 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 1,500 yards almost.
Yeah. And so he's been great. And always nobody is that I can ever remember gone wire to wire to win the Heisman in terms of odds. So that's why I'm just like, I've never seen it happen before. So that's why I'm not really on that,
Yeah.
But I don't feel like anybody's really running away with it.
No. And that's one, man, I love when Heisman races are like this, when you've got a lot of dudes playing really well and it could be, I mean, there's like a couple of dudes, it's fun. All right. Okay. So who's your second pick? I'm making fun of you on here.
That's fine. I can take it. I mean, I told somebody the other day, you grow up 5'5", you either learn to laugh at yourself or you be miserable. I mean, I choose to laugh. Okay. Yeah. So my second one, I'm trying to decide if I want to go down the odds first or if I want to. I think I will. I think I'm just gonna go for it because I've never been more impressed with this fellow than I was late Saturday night, and that is Travis Hunter, cornerback / receiver from Colorado.
Oh, okay.
He is absolutely incredible. I don't know if you watched that Colorado and who did they play? Baylor.
Oh yeah, Baylor. Buffaloes.
That game went into overtime. There was a Hail Mary to get it to overtime that Colorado pulled off. And then at the goal line with the chance to tie it, Travis Hunter went in and hit the running back, put his helmet right on the football, causing a fumble that went out the back of the end zone to win the game. I mean,
big boy play.
I'm not exactly like I'm not the biggest Buffs fan,
Yeah.
But you can't watch a game without thinking that without Travis Hunter, that team is over the season. I mean, they're terrible. He is incredible. Yeah,
he was the only guy that I was seriously considering that wasn't a quarterback. There's always one where you're like, this dude is it. This guy is and playing both sides of the ball. Like, I always find that I don't know. It's impressive to me.
It is. And something that it just doesn't happen anymore.
No, they don't do it. I mean, they just don't do it. I mean, you're almost encouraged to not do it, which is fine. More often to get hurt, but it's fine. All right, my second pick. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Is real quick. Travis Hunter has got 472 yards on 37 receptions with 5 touchdowns. The next highest reception total on that team has 18. So he's more than doubled up. And then Travis Hunter has 9 solo tackles, 5 assisted, so 14 tackles, 2 passes defended, 1 interception, and 1 forced fumble on the year. And he's by far the best corner on that field. Like, they don't even throw at him, or his stats would be a lot bigger.
Yeah, it's like as much of a short, like we call corners in the NFL shutdown all the time. He's a shutdown corner.
This is probably the only thing going against him.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't make a bowl game, no, I don't think he can do it. You look at the only time I can think of a team that didn't make it to the playoffs recently and won the Heisman. I mean, Manziel's team, I think they went like 9-3, 10-2.
Yeah.
You've typically got to be competing.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you're right. Yeah. I mean, and we'll see if they drop off, maybe his odds will go the other way. We'll see.
Right.
My second pick, this is going to be a homer pick for me. I'm taking Nico. Go Vols. Go Big Orange. That was a big boy win from that team last week. Not super flashy, but he looked good against a really good Oklahoma defense. So I'm going to give
that's right. Jaden Daniels did win last year. That's a good call. I think they went 8-4, and so that slipped my mind. Good call.
Yep.
King Meeks there. All right, my last one. Preseason, I picked Jalen Milroe on the $2 Sports Show.
Yep.
I was really big on what Kalen DeBoer's system would look like with Jalen Milroe. 4 games into the year, or 3 games into the year for them, I could not be less excited to have made that pick. So I'm going to go a different route, and I'm going to go kind of use the formula that's typically been used before. Quarterback from a dominant team, the number 1 team in the country right now, and that's Quinn Ewers. I know he missed 1 game. He missed a game against whoever they played, Louisiana Lafayette or something. Arch got his first start last week.
Mm-hmm.
If they run the table, win the SEC, say that puts them at 13-0, and he misses 1 game in the regular season, a nothing game, I still think he's got the Heisman. I think he can still win the Heisman with missing a game. I think he's been absolutely incredible, and that team has been incredible.
Yes.
I'm curious to see if he starts next week or this Saturday, rather. I mean, Rusty's team, they've got their work cut out for him. Texas is playing Mississippi State this week. They've opened up as a 38-point favorite. I mean, just brutal for State. I mean, the hits are going to keep coming all year long for that team. That does not let up for Mississippi State at this point. But
it's tough.
But if Quinn Ewers doesn't play, that may hurt with him missing 2 games instead of just 1. We'll see. And Quinn Ewers, just like Jackson Dart and just like everybody else, honestly, their biggest games are in front of them. You know, Texas plays Georgia this year. You're going to find out. And then if Georgia wins, maybe we're talking about Carson Beck instead of Quinn Ewers.
Yeah,
but I'm going Quinn Ewers.
I'm going to go. I thought about Carson Beck with my last one. I'm going to go Dylan, the kid from Oregon. He's the only guy.
Dylan Gabriel.
I like him. He's the only guy with, I think, completing over 80% of his passes. I think if he continues that and they keep whooping up on guys, I think he could sneak in there.
Yeah, the Pac-12 is not great. Or they're not in. They're in the Big Ten. Okay, sorry. Reset. You know, I'm still.
Yeah, we're still confusing.
Used to this. Yeah. So I'd have to look at their schedule. I don't know if they play Ohio State or not.
I don't know either. I should have looked that up.
I think they do. So that'll be the big game you're looking for
yes.
them. But yeah, so my 3, Jackson Dart, Travis Hunter, Quinn Ewers from Texas.
Yep. My 3, I got Cam Ward, Nico, I can't say his last name, and Dylan or Gabriel Dillon. Dylan Gabriel, pardon me. Those are my 3. We're going to put these up on the Twitter, X, pardon me. We're going to put these up. We're going to, you saw it. God. You heard it here, Rusty.
Hey, King Meeks, if you want to place a little wager on that, don't go to the sports book. Just call me. I will match whatever money you want to put on it. We'll just go double. We'll just, me or you, like, gets the pot.
But we got our own private bookie right here, y'all. And everybody have a good Friday. Not Friday. Oh, my God. What day is a good Wednesday?
Oh, yeah. You're in for a long week now.
No, why did I do it? Everybody have a good Wednesday. I'll be back tomorrow. Be good today. Be safe. Have good days at work. If you're not working, have good days sleeping away now. And if I can leave you with 2 things today, just 2 things, nothing crazy. Just remember to be a little weird, just a little bit, and remember to smile. Bye, guys. Have a good day.